In corporate finance, we write a lot of material. We produce documents, and I've written a few financial books which were terribly boring. But there's always the desire to see if you could write fiction. And so when I retired first time around, when I was 6 years ago, I decided to have a go at my first book. It was as simple as that. I just wanted to do it. Wales is the most beautiful country in the world, and Abu Dhabi has this legend of the bells of Abu Dhabi, whereby many years ago it's said that a village got sunken because the guards were drunk and didn't keep the seawater out. And the legend is that if you walk the beach at night and hear bells, you're going to find romance. So in Meghan's game, does Meghan walk the beach at night and does she find romance? Meghan's game took 6 years. I think if you knew what you know now, you wouldn't start in the first place. But you get very little support because everybody's writing a book. So what makes you special? The whole system is against you. Agents turn you down, publishers turn you down. Nobody wants to know. So you have to just keep going. The lowest moment I had was where I had a pal in publishing, and he had my book read. This was Meghan's Game, and the reviewer wrote, "I'd rather read the instructions on the side of a washing machine than read this book." And that was a pretty low point, that was. But you battle on, and then finally, if you try hard enough, and this isn't just writing books, this is life, just keep going and the breaks will come. The old house at Shepperton, which is the old building before it became a film studio, is divided into 20 little units, and they're all full of film producers. And one of the producers read Meghan's Game, and we were approached, and he said he'd like to make a film of it. You have to turn the book into a script, a film script, which is a totally different process. And that's very expensive, so we were lucky that we found the money to do this. It cost about £50,000. But without a script, you can't get a director. Without a director, you can't get the cast. So you have to risk your money into the script. And we're about 2 weeks away from our script being finalised. And then the producer will appoint the director, and then the director will put the team together, the cast together, and then we have to raise £5 million to make the film. That's a pretty average budget for a British film. Well, the deal is about a corporate financier in London who has to raise £2 million for a publishing company. And in his negotiations with the company, he falls in love with the sister of the managing director. And he gets a little bit amorous with her. But she says, well, I'm not going to go any further with you until you've raised the £2 million for my brother's business. So the deal is the story of whether he's able to raise the £2 million for the business and whether that leads to any further developments in their relationship. You call on characters that you meet. I'm better at writing about men than women. I'm not too good on women. Things like what women wear. I mean, you know, I think of, say, a dress, but you need to go a little bit further if the readers to really understand the character you're trying to build. If you want to do something in life, there's always enough time. I'm actually signing off my third book at the moment, Cholesterol. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I worked for 3 or 4 hours before coming here because I've got a deadline to meet. So I just cut out 2 hours sleep and edited my book. There is always enough time in life if you really want to do it. The population of the UK is about 60 million at the moment. Of the 60 million currently living in the UK, 10 million will live to at least 100 because the longevity tables are going up all the time. So even if you retire at 60, 65, 67, whatever they put the age up to, because of the improving health standards, you may well have 20, 30 active years ahead of you. And that's why if you look at e-book publishing and internet publishing, because people can now access publishing much more easily, a lot of people are turning to writing as a new career. As you improve as a writer, you can write more quickly. So I write a book every 6 months. A book, incidentally, the books I write anyway, so there's the deal, is 80,000 words. That's the standard type paperback. And what I do is divide it into 20 chapters of 4,000 each, which gives you 80,000 words. I can write, on average, comfortably 2,000 words in a day if I choose. If I've researched and I'm ready. The hard bit is the editing. So that is Cholesterol as I finished it. That then goes to Laura, my editor, who's actually in Paris. So that's come back to me on my computer with all her questions. Research this isn't good enough, write it again. Then I answer all her points. She makes many changes in the book, but I just accept those. When the people who produce the book, they get the manuscript, they then design the book, type style, setting out the chapters, paper to be used in printing, the cover design. You can see the cover's already been designed for Cholesterol. The process is very long indeed. And then what happens is you wake up one morning and suddenly you've got a book. That's your book. But then what do you do with it now? You know, how do you get people to read it? I think it'll, at the end of the day, everyone who starts, only one will make it. Not because the other 9 aren't good enough, they'll go different ways. It's in a desire, because you will get kicked in the teeth regularly, and you have to get up the next morning and try that bit harder. So you've got to ask yourself, am I just doing this because I want to, or is there something inside me which says, I really do want to see my book published? If you've got that inner desire, that will overcome all the obstacles, but without it, you're going to struggle. But new production.